Just over a year ago, my storage unit was broken into. The would-be thief didn't take anything. Instead, they left stuff. Children's books, Nerf guns, and a very large rock collection. I have a friend who's a really avid rock collector, so I reached out to him to see if he would want it. Now, when I got to his house that night, he said they actually had something for me as well, something they'd been debating giving me for a while. Not long prior, they had been given a doll from their elderly neighbor to give to their children. The kids were frankly terrified of it. They didn't like to be around it. They didn't want it in their room. It just freaked them out. So they took the doll, kept it in their bedroom on their shelf since they didn't feel right throwing it away or donating it. They felt weird vibes from it too, but nothing really overly concerning. It's a strange looking doll. It's an old doll, you know? Around this time, he was working from home a lot, and on at least one occasion, they claim that it was seen by him and his coworkers to straighten itself up behind him on the shelf. The doll is very obviously handmade, presumably by the neighbor who gave it to my friend. I think it's safe to say that it was made in the 90s, as it's wearing 90s era kids' clothing that can be found very easily on eBay. Whoever made it wasn't seemingly very skilled at attaching limbs, as they're still pinned in place. There are metal forms in its legs, presumably to allow it to stand when supported by a frame. It has a diaper and leggings over the metal forms in its legs to give it a more human shape. Its face is simple, and it was given a disconcertingly worried expression. To be entirely honest, I'm really not convinced that the doll is haunted. I've never had an experience with it myself the whole time that I've had it and been around it. Now, that's not saying a lot, because you hear all the time about people who live in haunted houses and, investigators come in and they don't have an experience. But I haven't had an experience with it. To me, it just feels and looks like an old, creepy, handmade doll. Right now I'm filming at the Deep, which is, where I work. It's that comic shop here in Huntsville. This is basically a storage room, a warehouse of sorts that we use for comics that we don't have room for downstairs. It's also one of the most quiet, kind of tucked away places that you can find here at the Deep. Today, I'm going to be doing a short, timed, but very focused Estes session to see if we can find out if there is anything attached to this, if it has a name it wants to go by, all that kind of stuff. We'll be doing more here in the coming days. While I'm setting the doll up, I snap a picture of it with my Polaroid. A strange malfunction occurs. It could just be faulty film, but what makes it more noteworthy is a different camera malfunctioned the day prior. The doll is under that smudge in the bottom right corner. Anyways, I start the Estes session but receive no responses. The doll doesn't seem to move or cause the camera to malfunction, but my REM pod can be seen to very slightly react. I believe this is the temperature sensor, but I'm uncertain as I normally keep that muted. Nothing else of note happens during this session. If you've watched any of the show, you'll know that I am a big believer in the idea that paranormal occurrences and experiences may have more to do with us, with the experiencer, than with the object or environment. That is, if we believe something is haunted, then we might be able to make it so just by treating it and interacting with it as if it is. So, with this in mind, something that I want to try for this one, if there isn't anything paranormal around it that I can detect immediately, what I want to do is see if introducing this doll to people and having them interact with it as if it's haunted will increase any apparent activity around this doll. First up was my coworker and friend David, who is already looking a little anxious here. As you've seen in prior episodes that he's been present for, he's terrified of all things paranormal. If anything or anyone can charge this doll up, it's him.
Just messing with you, man. It's okay. It's just something like playing fun, having fun, like you guys. You came in with a playful attitude.
But he doesn't react as much as I expected he would. He has an explanation, though.
I know that I'm like the dude who is like the most deathly afraid of the paranormal, which is funny because I believe in it maybe the least. When I was in elementary school, like we lived with my grandpa and grandma. They had a spare room. In that spare room, my grandmother had a huge like vintage porcelain doll collection. They're scary, they're kind of gross looking, the hair is all matted, and they would stare at you. And I had to sleep in there alone more than once. So I think I'm a little more
You're like immune to it.
I've
almost.
got a little immunity to it. So when you show me the doll, I'm also not thinking like, how is it haunted? Is it haunted? Haunted genuinely didn't really come to the equation when I was looking at it. I'm more just being like, Yeah, that's a creepy ass doll.
Following David, I showed it to other friends and coworkers. My plan was to let local viewers and fans come interact with it too, but that fell through at the last second. Following this, I left it in the deep overnight with both my motion-activated trap camera and my Phasm night vision camera focused on it. Nothing of note is captured by the IR camera, beside one of my coworkers walking into the room and being surprised at the sight of it. The trap camera is another story. At about 8 a.m., the camera activates as if it's detected movement. A dark shape can be seen in the upper part of one of the images. The camera has also noticeably moved from its original location since I placed it at 6 p.m. the day prior. A lot fewer people than I wanted to have gotten the chance to interact with this doll. In the very near future, this is going to be repeated with more people in different environments. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and move into this final Estes session. This second attempt to communicate with the doll was broadcast live on YouTube. Just prior to the stream, my REM pod can be seen to react when in proximity to the doll. That green light right there depicts the far range. You can see I'll demonstrate right here. It goes off when I'm about that far away, right? So the doll itself doesn't disrupt that. You can see it's still going very lightly. If you're touching that, could you make it light up a little brighter for me? Like really get close to the antenna there and really touch it for me. Could you touch that red light for me right there? Strange. Okay, we are officially live.
Copy that.
All right.
That's
You
it.
guys see me good? Do you see me on the camera?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Am I still recording right here? Like, just can you see me on there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
6 minutes.
All right. I'm gonna get settled in. All right, I'm going in. Mike is gonna take over in just a couple seconds. He's gonna do a test first to make sure I can't hear anything, and then we'll get going. Filming me.
Are you attached to this doll?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for why people get so uncomfortable around the doll?
Thought I heard like a little desk bell.
How do you feel like we've been treating the doll? How do you feel how we've been treating you?
You are more visceral.
Anything we can do to help you, or anything we can do to make you more
Alien.
comfortable?
Adrift.
How did you become attached to the doll?
Really? What is it with you? This is my home, asshole.
Could you touch the black and red box by the doll?
I can't. It's hypnotic. I can't do anything.
Okay.
I can't. I'm human.
What's the doll's name? What's something we can call the doll instead of just the doll? Give it a little bit more respect.
Name is Marjorie. It's over. Very, very over. This one is interesting. It was definitely validating in a sense to see that even though we didn't have a huge amount of people interacting with this doll, to go from in initial Estes session, in initial push into talking or attempting to speak with this doll and any entity that may be attached to it, we go from basically nothing happening during that first Estes session to the second one. We're getting answers, we're getting names, good responses. The REM pod reacts, even though it's very slightly, but it does react. It's validating. It suggests that there may be some truth to this. That, like I've been saying this whole time, like this whole show is kind of about, if you believe in something enough and you treat it as if it is true, kind of seems like it really does make it true in a way. Now, later in the year, we're going to be introducing this doll to so many more people. That'll be filmed, it'll be documented, there's going to be a follow-up to this. Just stay tuned. You'll get the chance to interact with this doll very soon. No, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. All right. Ooh, what you guys doing out here?
They got Taco Bell.
Mm.
Go lock the door back.
Jinx.
Door back.
When we came down and we opened the door, you said, I felt like the door just opened. There's a cold breeze. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, the ghost is here.
I bet somebody when they watch that on the play. I'm going to play that for the boys. We play it on the play.
Yeah.